Hello, and welcome back to EPG. I'm, of course, Greg, your host. Today, we're going to be talking about the House of Terror, which, no, is not a haunted house, at least not in the classical sense. The House of Terror was a Nazi and Soviet uh, prison, torture site, and execution area in the middle of downtown Budapest, Hungary. I had the privilege of going there. It actually was right down the street from my hostel, and it's kind of shocking how it just looked like every other ordinary apartment building in the area. It serves as a museum now, with a museum on the upper floors and the prison cells and execution chambers located in the lower levels. So, as I said, it's a museum, and I learned a lot of interesting things when I was there. First and foremost was about the Arrow Cross Party, I guess you want to call them, or group. Basically, what they were was a bunch of Hungarians who became Nazis when the Nazis occupied Budapest. And they were basically like the brown shirts. They were kind of unorganized mob group that would go and beat up people, kill some of them in very disturbing ways, which I won't talk about here. But the interesting thing about them is that when the Nazis were kicked out and the Soviets came in, they were given an option to do that type of work for the Soviets. And a lot of these people, they were more concerned with the ability to hurt people than any political ideology. So a lot of them switched sides and began working for the secret police for the Soviets when they moved into Budapest. Their handiwork is featured in this book, which I suggest you read if you're interested about this time period, My Happy Days in Hell. I'll put a link down in the description. But anyway, yeah, so it's a great museum up top. It's kind of like an art installation too, so there's a lot of interpretive stuff going on there. Like, for example, with the Arrow Cross, it was a uniform that was on a turntable. That was first a Nazi uniform, and then a Soviet uniform, then spun again to Nazi, then spun again to Soviet. So it really kind of stays in your mind about how easily these people just switch sides like that. But as I said, the lower floor is the prison and also the execution site. And the thing that kind of stood out down there was the actual execution chamber. What it was, if you're familiar with any type of hanging, or at least in a lot of places, the person walks out onto a trap door, a noose gets placed around their neck, the trap door leaves, and then the person, as they fall, their neck breaks, that snaps. But in this place, there's no trap door. Basically, the way it was set up is that a person stands there, anyone from 16 years of age up, has a noose put around their neck, and then the rope is hung over a large wooden plank that's in the air, and basically the person is raised off their feet. So instead of their neck breaking, they slowly get strangled to death. So that kind of stuck in my mind. I would suggest that anybody visit this place. Budapest is a lovely, lovely town, city. But like Berlin, like Paris, like a lot of other major capitals, there's history on every corner, and not all of it is cheery and bright. So when you're enjoying the music, when you're enjoying the food, enjoying the people of Hungary and Budapest, it's important to understand the dark history as well. And I would suggest anybody visit 60 Andrássy Street, the House of Terror. So thank you very much for your time. Get out there.